And now here they are, the New York Knickerbockers. At the forwards, number 22, Dave DeBuscher. Number 24, Bill Bradley. At center, number 19, Captain Willis Lee. And at the guards, number 10, Walt Frazier. And number 12, Dick Barnett. And the coach of the Knicks, Red Holzman.
The 1970 world champion New York Knickerbockers, each guy a standout, but dedicated to a total team effort. Above all, the team, painstakingly molded by Ned Irish, president and master builder of the Knicks. The Knicks have arrived, along with all of pro basketball. They're in the big time now, but it wasn't always so. Original Knicks broadcaster Marty Glickman goes back a long way with the Knicks, all the way to the beginning, 24 years ago.
The early Knickerbockers played their games in some very unusual arenas. Most of their home games were played at the 69th Regiment Armory on Lexington Avenue and 24th Street in Manhattan. The Knicks installed good lighting and a new floor, but it can handle only slightly more than 5,000. On some nights, there might be less than 500 on hand. In Baltimore, we played in a converted trolley car barn they called the Coliseum. The unused trolley car track still led into the building. I broadcast from among the spectators, and very often they'd lean into the microphone and yell nasty remarks to the Knicks fans back home. In Fort Wayne, Indiana, we played in an old high school gym. The players used to call it the Pit. There were walls all around the playing floor, right at the sidelines from which the stands rose. Players would get belted into the walls. We played in towns like Waterloo, Iowa, Sheboygan, Michigan, and Tri-Cities, and Toronto. In Waterloo, they had a huge heating unit at one end of the court, and every time the Knicks came up court, they'd turn the fan on and blow the hot air right at the Knicks. In Syracuse, the guide wires supporting the baskets ran into the crowd. When the Knicks shot fouls, they'd shake the guide wires, which shook the baskets. There was one arena where the Knicks would bring their own towels and their own soap. Before Red Auerbach and Bob Cousy arrived in Boston, there were more people directly participating in the game, that is, the players, the writers, the broadcasters, the coaches, the attendants, and the ushers, and so on, than there were actual spectators in the stands. In Rochester, there was so little room back of the baseline, the players on a layup would drive right through the doors and out of the arena. In all the years of the NBA, then and now, the players were the greatest. The great Carl Braun of the Knicks, a marvelous two-handed set shooter. He used to practice concentration on shots by tossing ping-pong balls into the necks of milk bottles. Dr. Ernie Vanderway, who used to leave med school at the last possible moment before Knicks road games, get dressed on the plane or the bus or the train, and sometimes run on the floor with his shoelaces still untied. The early Knicks were colorful and fun and good. They didn't miss the playoffs once in the first 10 years of the league. 3 times they played in the final round.
And then the Knicks fell hard on bad times. Only once in the next 11 years could they clutch onto a respectable season. Yet we saw some great players in the Garden during those unforgettable years. Carl Braun.
Braun gets the screen, sets, now he shoots, and it's good! And Carl Braun has set a new NBA record, 47 points.
Richie Guerin.
Guerin dribbles up along the right side, bounces the pass into the right corner, back along the sideline to Guerin. He gets the screen from Sears, he shoots, and it's good! And Richie Guerin now has scored 57 points.
Harry Gallatin, Dick McGuire, Willie Knowles, and a man named Nat Sweetwater Clifton from the Harlem Globetrotters. And Sweets was one of the favorites of former coach Joe Lapchick.
Sweetwater Clifton joined our club, and the season's about half over now. One of the nights we're riding in the train. On my Sweets, I said, "You're letting us down very badly." we brought you up here to help rebound with Harry, and you're just not being felt in there. These guys are knocking you in the second row of seats. I said, why don't you belt one of them? He said, well, Coach, I was terrible. I said, well, whether you're terrible or not, I said, I never saw a basketball fight where anybody got hurt. And he said, well, he says, I'd like to be one of the first black men in the league, and I want to create a good impression. I said, sweet, you're only paid on your production, not on your color. In the following year, we're playing a game, and he got into a hassle with a fellow named Bob Harris. And words were exchanged, and he hit Sweets in the mouth. And Sweets started down the floor, and this guy was after him because Sweets called him a name. Sweets never in my life saw in the ring a better left hook and a right cross. And Sweets was knocked this guy cold.
About 6 years ago, though, things began changing. Red Holzman and Eddie Donovan had a 5-year plan. A plan to bring the Knicks a world championship. And one of the first moves, as described by Red, was the trade for Dick Barnett.
We sent Boozer to the Lakers for Dick Barnett, and this was a good trade and helped build a team.
Cross court, Barnett at the top of the key, off the screen from Reed, in the corner for the jumper. That is good.
And we got lucky in our draft picks. Looking back, it was probably one of the greatest picks ever made.
Rebound, batted around, taken by Reed, tries to stuff, he misses. Reed again, backhander, it's good!
Willis Reed makes coaching so much easier. He sets a great example. He's out there trying to help everybody. And if Willis Reed is trying to do everything right, then it's pretty hard for a rookie or any other person on the club not to.
The new Knicks were born with the entry of Willis Reed into pro basketball. Donovan became general manager.
And we also decided that we would not draft to a position, that we would draft a talent.
The Knicks drafted Dave Stallworth, number 1. Grabbed off by Stallworth, drives down the lane for a floater that is good! But Bill Bradley chose a Rhodes Scholarship instead of Madison Square Garden. Next, Gallatin stepped down as coach, and Dick McGuire took over. Cassie Russell was picked number 1. Center court, it goes to Russell. Cassie holds the ball, looks at the clock, 17 seconds to go. Russell got it very closely by Johnny Green. Cassie along the right sideline, 10 seconds to go. Cannot find an open man. Russell to the head of the foul circle, jumps and hits. He hit it, and the Knicks lead, 110-109. But then, tragedy struck. Dave Stallworth suffered a heart attack. That spring, the Knicks signed Walt Frazier and Phil Jackson. Then on a June day at Mama Leone's, after rumors had been flying for days, Bill Bradley officially signed amidst one of the largest press conferences in sports history. The night of his debut, the Garden crowd was electric, cheering every warm-up shot. And finally, Bill Bradley is reporting into the ballgame. Miles a pass underneath for Dissinger, lays it up, blocked by Reed, pulled down by Russell, up court with Bradley on the left, a pass to Bradley, jump shot, left side, good! Bill Bradley connects on his first field goal attempt, 40-23. But injuries began to bungle things up. Frazier had been hurt in training camp, and after a 5-month tour of duty in the Air Force Reserve, Bill Bradley, while walking on a rainy December night, collided with a pretty girl in a moving sports car. The Knicks needed a miracle if they hoped to make a return engagement in the 67-68 playoffs. Donovan named Red Holzman, then head scout, to coach the Knicks, and the impossible happened. The Knicks finished over 500 for the first time in a decade. Red's magic, defense, and speed. 10 seconds to go. Up court it goes to Greer. Down court to Walker. Underneath to Chamberlain. Chamberlain puts it up and in. 128-117 the score with 5 seconds to go. The Knicks take it out of the backcourt. Van Arsdale in the backcourt. Moves across the midcourt line. And that is it. The final. The Knicks 128. The 76ers 117 to even up the series. Philly had too many horses that year, but the Knicks were on their way. They had bought Nate Bowman from Seattle the year before. Old Nate the Snake with a constant mischievous glint in his eyes, all arms and legs and elbows. Now they added defense-minded Mike Reardon. Drives across the lane, in the corner to Reardon. Side jump, good.
Mike is an example that many kids can look up to because he was drafted, was let go, came back out for the ball club, improved in every phase of his game. And when he came out to camp, this kid was not to be denied.
But the Knicks started off last year miserably with a disastrous 6 wins, 13 losses. The spark was missing until a violent loss for the Knicks against Atlanta. But they gained something more important: team spirit, team unity. They won 12 of their next 16, and then the trade that rocked the NBA, a trade that delighted Red Holzman.
We traded Bellamy and Colmars for DeBusschere. The great thing about Dave DeBusschere is that he hits the open man. He can dribble the ball. There's no part of the game that he can't do, and of course his experience as a coach certainly does help him with us.
The next day, the Knicks played at Detroit.
The Pistons are hit with their 16th foul, so they're over the limit. Don Day comes on, replacing Dave DeBusschere, who is hugged by Willis Reed on the bench and is getting a standing ovation from the crowd here at Cobo. And Dave nods at the crowd. DeBusschere with a very strong game, and the crowd continues to cheer. And DeBusschere is looking around. I don't think he realizes it's for him. DeBusschere is getting a standing ovation.
Now here you've been playing with and coaching for a while and so on. Most of the ball players on that Detroit club, and then one night you turn around, you're wearing a different uniform and playing against them. I do hope that they do well, but I hope that we do better.
We meaning the New York Knicks.
That's right.
Reed, the backbone of the Knicks, was back in his natural position, and the Knicks won 15 of their next 17. Then, the Knicks out of the backcourt, across the midcourt line. The pass goes to the high post, over to the right side to Russell. Starts to make his move. Ball knocked out of his hands, loose on the floor. Cassie dives for it along with Kennedy of the Supersonics. And hold it, Cassie is hurt. Cassie is hurt. Here comes Nick Trinidad-Whalen. Cassie could not move. Red Holzman out on the court to take a look. Cassie was lost for the rest of the season with a broken ankle, but Bill Bradley was ready and took over Cassie's starting position. So the bench, later known as the Minutemen, began to play a role. The Knicks finished the season with an excellent 54-28 record, and they faced the Baltimore Bullets in the opening round of the playoffs.
5 seconds to go. Frazier in the backcourt across the midcourt line. 2 seconds to go. Frazier kills the clock. That is it. As the crowd pours onto the Garden Court, loving the New York Knicks, they have swept the Baltimore Bullets, and it is like New Year's Eve.
Now the exuberant young Knicks went against an old but proud Boston team in the Eastern Finals.
This is Johnny Moss back at the Garden. Here's the way things look. The New York Knickerbockers lead by a score of 105-104. There are only seconds remaining. Time for one play. The Celtics have the ball. They have set up a triple screen across the foul line. On the left side is Sam Jones isolated. Siegfried putting the ball into play. Jones cuts. He comes around the screen, takes the pass, stumbles, throws it up off the wrong foot. It's around the head and in. The ball game's all over. The Boston Celtics win it 106-105, and they defeat the Knickerbockers in 6 games, 4 games to 2.
In 1 week, the Knicks' emotions went from sky high to rock bottom, stopped by a bunch of old men. More than that, they were stopped by a legend. Bill Russell, the eagle with a beard, carried Boston out of their 9th championship in 11 years. Maybe the Knicks needed that slap in the face. It was in this defeat that the Knicks had come of age. Fans everywhere had sensed it coming all year long. The Knicks were the first team in the history of the NBA to play before 1 million people in one season. They prepared for the new campaign. This had to be the year. The 1969-1970 Knicks emerged from training camp the strongest, fittest team in New York Knicks history. They seemed to have everything: depth, balance, unity, desire. The 24-year-old Knicks had reached manhood all right. All they had to do now was prove it. After all, 24 years old was about time. The season begins with the greatest comeback in the history of basketball. Dave Stallworth along the sideline getting set to report in. He is at the scorer's table, and for the first time since the heart attack during the regular season, Dave Stallworth will be on the court as a New York Knick. Now here comes Stallworth replacing DeBusschere. Going into the 10th game, the Knicks had lost only once and were on the move. After going on to set the Suns in Phoenix, Coach Red Kerr said of the Knicks, "They say the West Coast is eroding from California, but we got hit by a tide from the East." Bob Cousy, the former Boston Celtic great, now coach of the Cincinnati Royals, is asked to comment on any Knick weaknesses.
The Knickerbockers unquestionably, I think Whirlpool, they've got the strongest team in the league. They played like they knew they were champions, and this makes a great deal of difference over the span of a season that's as long as this one, and they've got the bench strength. They're a very unselfish team. I don't know if any team that's ever won this league has done it with so-called superstars. It has to be a complete team contribution and an unselfish contribution, and I think the Knicks have exemplified this throughout the season. They're constantly looking for the free man. They pass up a good shot to look for a little better shot. I think all of these factors make for the results that we're seeing at the moment.
On November 27th in Atlanta, the Knicks put on a basketball exhibition that is pure artistry.
Taken away by Bradley from Hudson. Fast break. New York is up there. Frazier's all by himself. And New York with a burst is pulling away. It's 84-68. 12 straight Knick points. Bradley took it right away from Hazard. It gives it to Frazier. Tap in by Reed. And once again, Willis Reed, with that perfect position, was there for 2 points. He now has 29 points. The Knicks lead 96-73. Again, Frazier took it away. And the crowd is seeing one of the greatest demonstrations of defensive play that's ever been put on. This quarter has been phenomenal for New York. Bradley hits. They get the 100 mark. Frazier again did it. Isn't that something? 106-73. Reed blocked the shot. There's the buzzer as the period ends. That's the end of the third quarter with the score, New York 106 and Atlanta 73.
When it's all over, it's the 17th consecutive win of the season, tying the NBA record. Then in Cleveland, against the Royals, the Knicks bid to do what no team has ever done before looks doomed as they're practically out of the ballgame in the third quarter and still down by 5 with only seconds to go in the game.
New York would like to have this ball looped in for the chance at the steal. And it's intercepted. Put in by Dave DeBusschere, 105-104. 10 seconds to go. Intercepted by Frazier. Frazier shoots. The follow. There's a whistle on the play as Frazier went up with 2 seconds to go. With 2 seconds to go. Van Arsdale committed the foul. The Knicks trail by 1 point, 105-104. He has 3 chances to make 2. Fans, if this is pulled out, it will be one of the miracles of basketball. The Knicks come back. Hold on. Knicks trail, 2 seconds to go. They trail by 1 point. It's tied. 105-105. With 2 seconds to go. Walt Frazier. Cincinnati will call timeout most probably to get the ball at midcourt. He makes it. The Knicks go in front. They throw in. Reed intercepts. Reed shoots. The ball game. Hold it. We have no official. It's over. All over. The Knicks win 106-105. What a game. What a game. Folks, I've never seen anything like it. One of the most fantastic, gutsy finishes I've ever seen. The Knicks have set a new NBA record with their 18th win in a row. What a ball game. Sensational. Sensational.
And then the streak is over. Begun and ended against the Pistons. Walt Frazier typifies the go-go Knicks when he says, "I guess we'll just have to start another streak." The Knicks did get back to their winning ways against the Bullets with a 116-107 win, and then on Christmas Day, the Knicks against Detroit in an incredible game.
Komar's still looking, one bounce cross court to Walker. Walker at center court, back to Komar's with 11 seconds remaining. Komar's top of the key with 9 seconds remaining. Komar's holds the ball. Komar's still looking now, a pass on the left side to Bellamy. He drives, lays it up and in with 1 second remaining. Bellamy with the driving layup, and the Pistons now lead by 1. And this, of course, will be very, very rough. Walt Bellamy making up for the two missed free throws. The inbounds pass will come from center court as the Knicks and Pistons line up. Frazier will throw it in, and Jimmy Walker's going to give Frazier all the room he wants. He will help out on the lineup. Now Frazier takes the ball. He looks, still looking, throws for the basket to Reed. Layup is good! The Knicks win it! The Knicks win it! Willis Reed hitting the layup! And the Garden is pure hysteria! Unbelievable finish!
And now the Knicks embark on the longest road trip in their history, and Walt Frazier discusses the cross-country journey.
Busy stretch of days coming up. Something like, 7,000 miles in 3 days following tonight?
Don't mention it, man. I hate to even think about it.
You don't mind the traveling, do you?
Yeah, like this I do. I mean, that's almost ridiculous.
Let's see, from here you go to Los Angeles, that'll be tomorrow night, then you play Seattle and Vancouver on Saturday, and out to Phoenix for Sunday.
Right.
That's really seeing the country.
It's not really seeing the country. You don't see too much of anything, but the airports, you're bad. Yeah.
Walt, on this Christmas Day, 1969, any Christmas wish from Walt Frazier?
I hope that Santa Claus will deliver us the championship.
Despite the hectic road trip, the Knicks continue their solid play by taking 2 out of 3. On January 19th, the Knicks move into the Boston Garden, and the Celtics become the first team to defeat the Knicks twice this season. 8 days later, at Madison Square Garden, the Knicks humiliate the Celtics by 33 points. All 12 Knicks score, and the only question in the final minute is, can the Knicks hold the Celts under 100 points? An unusual goal the fans in New York have come to appreciate.
17 seconds to go. Outside Bonds. Jumper. Rims the basket. Rebound made. Up court it goes to Warren. That will earn Donnie May the game ball. Warren loses to White. White in the forecourt. 5 seconds. Close court. Pass to Nelson. Layup missed, but he's fouled. 2 seconds remaining. Nelson will have to battle the crowd. Here's the first. It is up and good. Knicks are over the limit, so it's a 3 for 2, 131.99. Here's the second. Crowd is going absolutely wild. It is up and good. 131-100. Now the pressure is off. With 2 seconds remaining, Hoskett inbounds, goes to Reardon at center court. Long one-hander. Yes! At the buzzer. Mike Reardon, 45, 50 feet out. And that kind of caps off the night. Final score, the New York Knickerbockers 133 and the Boston Celtics 100.
In February, it is Philly. The Knicks crush the 76ers, scoring 151 points. The Knicks take on Philadelphia again the next night, but it's a whole new ball game.
And here's the third of the 76ers have a crack at it. Frazier bounces the ball, looks up at the backboard, flips it up. It is around and drops through. 116, 114. The inbounds pass to center court, fumbled by Greer, picked up by Reed, holds the ball high over his head, and there's the buzzer. In quite a finish, Hal Greer was trying to race up court, lost sight of the ball, and fumbled the pass. It went off his foot and ended up in the hands of Willis Reed.
Then a month later, March 3rd at the Garden against the San Francisco Warriors, the 1970 Knicks became the greatest Knick team of all time as they set a club record by winning their 55th game of the season.
The Knicks have the lead. They have the ball. Frazier to the forecourt, to the baseline for a jump that's good. A casual jumper by Frazier. 111-100. Long pass down court from Mullins is off the fingertips of Lee and out of bounds with 24 seconds remaining. So the Knicks take over in the backcourt as the crowd begins to file out. Knicks lead at 113-100. Frazier across the midcourt line along the right sideline. Frazier continues the dribble along the sideline with 10 seconds to go. Now Frazier moves to the corner. Moves to the right side of the circle, turns and jumps. It is off the front rim and runs through. 115-100 with 2 seconds. A pass to center court broken up by Bowman. Then Frazier guns from center court. It's no good. There's the buzzer. And that's the ball game. Final score. The New York Knicks 115, the San Francisco Warriors 100.
Following the record-breaking 55th win, the next order of business was clinching the title. And the Knicks did it at San Diego on March 14th by the score of 119-103. The club lets down a little now. In fact, they lose their last 4 regular season games. But the regular season ends with a whopping 60 wins and a first-place finish for the Knicks. Red Holzman carries away Coach of the Year honors. All in all, a remarkable team effort. Number 1, but only in the East. So no wild parties and hoopla. The Knicks are not congratulating themselves yet. There's still the short season, the money season left. And the playoffs have smashed the Knick dreams before. There's a lot of giant killing left to do if they want that dream. After a long, hard, victorious season, the real contest is just beginning. Defense, the key word. In the playoffs, one mistake can blow it all. The Garden crowd knows it. In fact, Knick fans are unquestionably the most knowledgeable fans in the game. But besides smarts, the Knick fans have heart. Their constant cheers and chants give the club more than a psychological lift. It's more like a launching into outer space. They make the Knicks play way above their heads. In a very real sense, the fans are right there with the players on that court. There's no such thing as a mere spectator sport at the Garden. But still, the Knicks must be ready, and they must stay healthy. Walt Frazier's main concern was the unknown factor, injuries.
See, I think if nobody gets injured, I think we will win it. But injuries are the most important factor right now. I hope this doesn't happen to us.
The giant killing begins, and Wes Unseld of the Bullets better look out for falling rocks in the form of a Mr. Willis Reed, the captain.
102 apiece, 10 seconds to go. Now Monroe is double-teamed, bumps into Barnett. Knicks thought they had a foul call. Monroe drives right, 2 seconds, spins away, he jumps, buzzer sounds, no good, no good. And we go to overtime. Mendy Rudolph with the ball. DeBusschere with the hands up. Johnson is looking. He one bounces to Monroe at midcourt. 20 seconds remaining as Monroe holds the ball. 16 seconds now as he veers to his left, guarded by Frazier. He's to the top of the key with 12 seconds remaining. Almost lost the dribble. Now double team, cuts to his right, 8 seconds remaining. Double teamed along the right sideline, cuts to his left with 5 seconds. Loses the Barnett. He drives down the lane, lays it up. It is no good, but a whistle on the play. Let's see if they score it. No, they don't score it. The Knicks claim goaltending, but it is not going to count. We will go to a second overtime.
All right, Knicks by 1. They have the ball. Frazier across the midcourt line. Frazier holds up the dribble. The Knicks are playing deep. Goes to Reed. Johnson overplays the ball. Willis drives by him down the lane, lays it up, and good. An emotional victory for the New York Knickerbockers. The score of 120-117 in double overtime. Following the game, Dick Barnett reflected on the opening playoff victory.
A disheartening defeat for the Bullets, and it's a very good win for us. I think although we've been very successful against them in the past, we can't, I think this game tonight is indicative of the type of talent that they have and the type of game they can play. So we've just got to go out and show that we're the better ball club.
The Knicks find that Baltimore's not the pushover the experts said they would be. Tied up at 2 apiece, play returns to the Garden.
Rebound grabbed by Ellis with 15 seconds remaining. Down court to Carter. Top of the key, spins, turns, and jumps, and hits. 101-80. Cross-court pass to Bowman. It's stolen by Carter with 4 seconds. Races to the forecourt. Throws up a one-hander that is no good. The rebound is to the far sideline, and the crowd pours on the court as the final buzzer goes, and the Knicks are being mobbed. Here's the announcement on Reed that he scored 36 points. And let's see if he gives the rebound total. 36 rebounds.
But the Bullets take Game 6, and like a nightmare, what should have been an easy series turns into a sudden death showdown, and the Knicks must win to keep alive and kill their playoff jinx.
30 seconds remaining in the game, and the Knicks will have defeated the Baltimore Bullets in 7. They lead at 123-110. Here's a pass to Hoskett. He drives, layup missed, rebound, Reed, no good. Here's a pass down court to Frazier. Frazier along the left sideline with 13 seconds to go. Hands to Stallworth. He drives, stops, and jumps. Hits. 127-112, 8 seconds remaining as Miles moves it across the midcourt line. Down court, Tucker lays it in. 127-114, 3 seconds, 2 seconds as the Garden court is mobbed. The Knicks cannot even move to the front court as the buzzer goes. Confetti being thrown all over Madison Square Garden.
And now come the Milwaukee Bucks, rested after an easy 5-game series with Philly. Victors over New York the last 2 times out, and led by the biggest thing in pro ball, the incredible Lou Alcindor.
And Reardon will go to the line for 2 shots. The Bucks are over the foul limit. 108-102 the score. 2 seconds remaining in the ball game. Reardon hits the first. Might get set for the second. Here's the second free throw. It's good. 110-102. The inbounds pass from Cunningham to center court to Crawford. A long one-hander at the buzzer is short. And that's the ball game as the fans pour out of the court. The final score, the New York Knicks 110 and the Milwaukee Bucks 102. The Knicks lead the Bucks in the best of 7 Eastern Division Final Series. 1-0.
Willis banks in on Alcindor. Now moves outside. Now turns and jumps. Yes! Willis Reed with 36 points. Another big ball game as the Alcindor-Reed battle continues. Here's a one-bounce pass from Alcindor to the cutting McLaughlin. He drives and lays it in. Alcindor now with 11 assists. Less than a minute to go. Alcindor gets set. The first of 2. Flips it up with the right hand. It is no good. Now Alcindor gets set for the second. Bounces the ball, looks up at the backboard, puts it up, hits the rim, fouls to the left. Alcindor missing 2 free throws. And the final score, the Knicks moving 2 up on the Milwaukee Bucks, 112-111. This has got to be a heartbreaking loss for Lou Alcindor and his Bucks. Once again, that tough Knick outside shooting doing the job, and again, Reed neutralizing Alcindor Willis with the 36 points. The series moves to Milwaukee, and the Knicks figure Lou is overdue. Alcindor spends the afternoon listening to jazz records, as he puts it, to get himself in harmony with the universe. Well, a barbershop quartet couldn't harmonize better than the Bucks this day as they keep the Knicks under the century mark, winning 101-96. But the Knicks were not intimidated and win the next one, although not without some tense moments in the third quarter. The Knicks at one point leading by 16, and the Bucks have cut it to 1. Here come the Knicks out of the backcourt. Cassie Russell along the right sideline, hands to Barnett. Back to Russell at the baseline. He jumps. Yes! And the Knicks move in front by 3. Across the midcourt line against Robinson. Frazier veers to his right at the right sideline. Now hands to Stallworth. Stallworth from deep along the sideline sets, and he shoots, and he hits. The Minutemen, Cassie Russell and Dave Stallworth, have come off the bench to do a job for the Knicks. The final score, the Knicks 117, the Bucks 105, bringing the series back to New York for Game 5 and a chance to clinch it in front of the hometown fans. The Knicks rolling it up here in the first half, 10 minutes remaining, and the fans on their feet shouting, "We're number 1." The Knicks by 22, 67-45. Just seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Guy Rogers out of the backcourt, up to the midcourt line. He turns and hooks as he flings. It is good at the buzzer. Rogers hitting from the midcourt line off to the angle at the near sideline in a wild ending to a first half in which the Knicks have really done it to the Milwaukee Bucks in game number 5 of this best of 7. The Knicks in complete domination. And that's the ball game as the fans pour out of the court. The perfect game for the New York Knicks. They have done it all. For the first time in 17 years, the Knicks are in the finals. L.A., dressed in shorts and sneakers, have to be the world's strangest-looking bridesmaids, as they've had to put up with catching the Celtics bouquet 7 out of the last 9 years. You know that the Lakers are a hungry, determined ball club, and they're carrying pretty impressive credentials. Chamberlain, West, and Baylor are the 3 highest scorers in the history of the playoffs, and Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest offensive giant of them all, highest scorer in the history of professional basketball. But they're getting old as ball players go, and Chamberlain and Baylor have serious knee problems. The experts say Knicks in 7 because of the home court, home crowd advantage. The 2 biggest cities in the country, the 2 best teams in the country. But who is number 1? And that's it. That's the ball game. The New York Knicks have defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 124-112, and the Knicks in this World Series of basketball move in front of the Lakers 1-0. Another superb performance by Willis Reed. Willis with 37 points, and Wilt Chamberlain could not move that well. The Knicks taking advantage, beat the Lakers. Ahead it goes to Frazier with 20 seconds remaining. Frazier looks at the clock. Inside, beautiful pick to Reed. Who lays it in? Beautiful pass from Frazier, who bulleted it inside to Reed, and Willis hit the easy layup. 26 points for Reed. Knicks lead by 2 with 8 seconds remaining. Laker ball, Egan to the top of the key. 5 seconds. Veers left. Long jump. Good. With 1 second, there's the buzzer. So Johnny Egan ties it on the jumper from deep along the left sideline, and that is the end of the third quarter. In the corner, Barnett, he drives, hands to Reed, he drives, shot blocked by Chamberlain, saved at the end line by Frazier, cross court to Busher, 2 seconds on the clock, he one-hands, it is no good. Rebound is loose on the floor, picked up by Stallworth, puts on the floor, whistle on the play, and a 3-second violation is called on the Knicks. 3-second violation. And the Lakers will come out of the backcourt with 18 seconds remaining in the game. Lakers lead at 105-103. West inbounds to Garrett. Got it by Frazier. He gives to West. Got it by Barnett. To center court to Garrett. He's hemmed in. He's double teamed. He is now throws the ball away. Throws it to Reed. Down court, Barnett with 5 seconds. He drives, stops, jumps. No good. Rebounded by Erickson, and there's the buzzer, and there's the ball game. The Knicks must beat L.A. on their home court to keep the 7th game advantage.
Dick Barnett with the ball, 20 seconds to go as Barnett shoots, hits, taken by Chamberlain, taken back by Frazier. 10 seconds now showing on the clock, 8 seconds left to go on the clock, 7, 6, 5, DeBusschere shoots, hits with 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds, 1 second, West throws it up. He makes it. West threw it up and makes it. Over half court. The ball game is tied. Jerry West made it from the other side of the midcourt stripe. And so we go into overtime with the score. Lakers 102 and the Knicks 102. 10 seconds to go on the scoreboard. Frazier looking at the clock. Now Barnett fakes, gets off the shot. Barnett hits with 4 seconds to go. 111-108 as West gets it up. Pulled out by New York. There's the ball game. The Knicks win. The Knicks win.
The 2 teams battle into another overtime in the 4th game, and L.A. wins as neither team can establish momentum. Back in New York, it happens. What all coaches lie awake nights worrying about. So the Knicks take over. Frazier down court to Bradley. Top of the key to Reed. He's triple team. Falls down. We got a whistle on the play. And Willis is hurt.
If nobody gets injured, I think we will win it. If nobody gets injured.
as the Lakers come up with the ball. Willis fell on the ball. He's still in the backcourt. Willis very slow to get up as Nick traded Danny Whalen comes out to take a look. And we get the call for the 22nd injury timeout as Red Holzman moves over. The hand is for Willis Reed, and it is now a standing ovation. The report on Willis Reed, he suffered a muscle pull of the right hip, and the hope is that he can play in the second half. And the Lakers now lead at 51-35. Nothing has gone right for the Knicks. Along the left side, Russell. He drives to the foul line, down the lane, lays it in. If the Knicks are to get back in this ball game, they must get red hot. And the crowd is very quiet in response to an announcement. Willis Reed will not see any more action tonight. Willis Reed is out. Pass stolen by Frazier. He drives inside Barnett. Layup is good. On the left side, it goes to DeBusschere. One-hander from 20. Good. Rebound. Frazier. Short jump is good. Barnett drives right to DeBusschere in the corner. One-hander over Wilt is good. 78-70. Knicks down by 8. West across the midcourt line. Loses to Frazier. Drives ahead of the field. Down the lane. Layup is good. It's stolen by Frazier. Out of the backcourt, across the midcourt line with Russell on the left, down the lane with the floater that is good! Inside Stallworth, short jump, hits the rim and bounce through. And the Knicks trail by 4, 84-80. Stallworth, one-hander from the side, good! A fast break for the Knicks, Russell across the midcourt line, top of the key, cross-court Barnett from 20, he jumps, yes! And the Knicks trail by 1, 86-85 with 8:20 remaining in the game, and the Lakers go for time. And now the Knicks have a chance to tie. They're down by 2. The inbounds pass to Frazier. Frazier along the left sideline, holds it high over the head, spins away, now hands to Russell. Cassie drives left, picked up by Chamberlain in the corner, outside Bradley, one-hander from 20, yes! We're tied at 87. They will remember this no matter what happens, as the night that Reed sat out most of the way and the Knicks came back. 1:35 in the game. Right side, Stallworth. He sets, now drives on Chamberlain, past the basket. Back-end is good! A spectacular shot by Stallworth. This must go down. And again, I'll say no matter what happens, as one of the great games in the history of the New York Knicks. Barnett will inbound, gives to DeBusschere along the left sideline, played by Garrett and Chamberlain. Back outside it goes to Barnett, and he is hemmed in, flips it ahead now to Russell. He drives in the corner to DeBusschere, one-hander from 20, hits the rim, bounce off, rebound is batted, saved by Erickson, but his saving pass goes to Frazier, and there is a break for the Knicks with 30 seconds remaining. Frazier to Bradley, back to Frazier at center court, puts it on the floor, flips it ahead now to Russell. Cassie outside to DeBusschere, in the corner to Barnett, 20 seconds remaining, back to DeBusschere. Standing ovation from the capacity crowd of the Garners. DeBusschere drives. Cross-court Frazier. In the corner, DeBusschere turns and one-hands. It's short. Rebound, Garrett. He fires down court. Intercepted by Frazier with 8 seconds. Frazier to the forecourt. Along the left sideline. Stops. Jumps. Yes! With 2 seconds to go. The Knicks lead by 7. Lakers try to come out of the backcourt. They will not be able to as the crowd races out of the court. There are still 2 seconds remaining in the game. A dejected group of LA Lakers try to inbound. Now they call the ball game. The Lakers say they won't inbound. So that is it. And now the fans race out of the court as the Knicks and Lakers make their way to the dressing room. A sensational victory for the New York Knicks, doing it without Willis Reed, moving in front 3-2 in the World Series of basketball, and doing it in dramatic style. But miracles cease back in Los Angeles. Wilt mops up the foreign floor with a bedraggled Knicks team as Reed sits by helpless in street clothes. Besides the injured knees and the sore shoulder, Reed's hip is so bad it's doubtful the doctor will let him even appear in Game 7. Winging it back to New York for the showdown, the chartered Laker jet has to be filled with confidence as it looks like their time has finally arrived. Red is concerned, but Willis says, I'll be there.
I don't feel 100% right now, but I know that when come tomorrow night, I'm planning to play. If I had to play on one leg, it's just a matter of Dr. Parks being able to localize the pain in one area with the shot, and I'll be out there.
The big question is, will Willis Reed play tonight? There is tremendous doubt right now as the Lakers continue their warm-ups to our right. The Knickerbockers warming up to our left, and the crowd is very quiet as they wonder whether Willis will be in the lineup. Cassie Russell chatting now with Dave DeBusschere. Both the Knicks and Lakers looking over toward the entranceway from the Knick dressing room. And we'll just have to wait and see. Nobody knows. Here comes Willis. And the crowd is going wild. Willis passes the scorer's table. He takes the basketball. Now he moves just to the right side of the foul line. And now he tests the foot. And here's the jumper by Willis. It is good. Now Willis takes the ball again. He's 25 feet out left side, and he one-hands, and he hits. And apparently Willis Reed is all right. The Lakers have stopped, and they're just watching Willis go through his warm-ups. Here's the tap, controlled by the Lakers. Erickson cross court to Garrett. Garrett along the left sideline. In the corner it goes to Ballard. Moves left side of the circle. Top of the key. Off the screen. Jump short. Rebounded by Bradley. New York ball down court to Frazier. Got it by West. Left side of the lane. Outside Reed. Jumps from 20. Yes! Barnett to Reed on the forecourt. Right side from 20. Jumps. Yes! Willis has hit on his first two. Down court Frazier. Across the midcourt line. Cuts to his left. Garrett playing with the 3 fouls. Now stops and jumps. Yes! 30 to 19. And now the next call for time. With 2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Willis looks to be hurt, and he is being helped over to the Knick bench. Knicks on top. They've led all the way. Frazier, left side of the lane. 1:05 to go. He jumps from 20 and hits. And the Lakers come out of the backcourt, and the Knicks continue to press. Reardon all over West as he moves it across the midcourt line. Reardon really giving him problems as West backs into the foul line. Now turns, does not have the shot. Outside Garrett, jumper from 25, no good. And the rebound is grabbed by DeBusschere. Ahead it goes to Reardon. Down court Frazier on the drive. He pulls up for the jumper that rims the basket. Rebound is batted around. It's loose, taken by Garrett of the Lakers. He bullets one down court that is intercepted by DeBusschere. Fast break for the next. DeBusschere on the drive. Leads Reardon. Driving shot is good. Incredible defense by the Knicks. They are doing it all as Dick Barnett reports back in, replacing Walt Frazier, and Frazier gets a standing ovation. Reardon inbounds to Barnett. Barnett to the top of the key. Veers right. Cross court Stallworth to the corner. Jumps from 20 and hits. That is the end of the first half. A devastating first half by the New York Knicks with the score. The Knicks 69 and the Lakers 42. Okay, the Knicks are huddled around Coach Red Holzman, and the Lakers are talking things over with Laker coach Joe Mulaney, and still no Willis Reed. And now the Knicks break the huddle. Lakers already on the court, and Nate Bowman will start at center against Wilt Chamberlain. Nate and Wilt shake hands. Still no Willis Reed as we get set for the opening tap of the second half. Now here comes Willis. Willis is making his way around the perimeter of the court. He is trotting over past the Knick bench. Red Holzman waves him on. Willis heads to center court, replacing Nate Bowman, and he waves to the crowd as the crowd stands and cheers. Now the tap, controlled by the Lakers. Garrett loses to Frazier. He's ahead of the field. He's down the lane. Scoops and hits. Rebounded off the backboard by DeBusschere. Down court, on the drive, all the way, running hook. DeBusschere dribbling the length of the court, hitting from 15 feet out left side. On the run, 90 to 63. The Knicks on top, 2.5 remaining third quarter. Frazier at center court, midway between the sidelines against West with 8 seconds. Now he veers left side of the circle. Left sideline, 5 seconds. Outside now to Barnett. He drives to the foul line. He jumps, hits. As the buzzer sounds, and that is the end of quarter number 3. The Knicks, a minute and 40 away from a world championship. Driving shot by Barnett is good, but it will not count. A minute 40 away in playing time as Egan commits the foul. And the Knicks will go to the foul line. The fans chanting a combination of it. It's all over now, and we're number 1. 40
seconds to the Knicks' first World Championship. Bradley eats up the clock along the right sideline with a dribbling exhibition against Crestfad. Bradley drives right side of the circle. He jumps, hits the back of the rim, bounce left, rebound, tipped up, no good. Rebound to Busher. Cross court Barnett. 30 seconds outside Bradley. Cross court to Busher. Outside Frazier. We have 25 seconds to the championship. Outside Bradley. Looks at the clock. Center court Frazier as the crowd on its feet roaring. Frazier top of the key. Outside to Busher. In the corner Frazier. He drives to Barnett for a jump. Yes! With 12 seconds remaining. 1:13.97. Here come the Lakers out of the backcourt. The Knicks bench is up on its feet, jumping as West is fouled on the forecourt. Fred Holzman has to hold back some of his players. The Knicks are hugging each other on the bench. Confetti from the mezzanine area here at Madison Square Garden as West gets set to take his foul shots. 8 seconds remaining in the ball game. It is bedlam here at Madison Square Garden. The first by West is good. Here's the second. It is good. 1:13.99. The Knicks inbound to Barnett in the backcourt. Cross court to Busher. 5 seconds. The Busher holds the ball. 3 seconds. The Busher holds the ball. 2 seconds. The Busher holds the ball. That is it. The New York Knickerbockers have won the 1969-70 World Championship of basketball. They are being mobbed as they head to the dressing room. The New York Knicks are the world champions in a devastating rout. This had to be one of your greatest games as a Knick.
There's no tomorrow, so we had to give it all off from the beginning. I felt good. The shots were there, and I just took them. The crowd has psyched us up for the game.
Dave DeBuscher, what do you feel?
Joy, pride, every emotion in the world. That's how it all came out to me. I don't know how can you express something that, you just feel like, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me as far as sports go, and I'm just naturally very elated. It's a fantastic feeling to know that you're playing or participating on the best team in your particular sport. I think it's a great achievement, and I'm very proud of it. What did Willie give us? Yeah. Well, his presence, like I said, was probably the biggest thing. He came out there right away, and Wilt was going to make him hit a couple from the outside, which Willie did. He proceeded to hit a couple, and immediately that got us all started, and we just sort of took over right from there. And the rest of it's history, I think. I think we played excellent game on defense. Everybody that played, did their job as well as you can expect them to do. Willis Reed on one leg is as good as anybody on 2 legs. He's been our leader all year, and to go into your championship game without him on the floor would have been kind of an empty feeling for our club. And when he came out there, it really gave us a big lift.
Willis, this has got to be a great moment.
This is the greatest feeling of all. You dream about being world champs, but this is a great feeling. It may not never happen again, but at least it happened once in my life. A long season, a lot of aches and pains, and a lot of guys pulling together, a lot of guys, doing a lot of things together. And I think this is what made us a ball club all year long, that we were a bunch of guys playing together. No superstar, just a bunch of guys that wanted to win the ball game.
And whereas the Knicks have brought unmatched excitement, drama, and glamour to New York City, as well as enhanced the reputation of professional basketball nationally, and whereas the Knicks have proved themselves to be the champions not only of the court, on the court, but off, giving of their time, their talent, and their energy to community action programs in the streets and playgrounds of New York and elsewhere in the nation. Now, therefore, I, John B. Lindsay, Mayor of the City of New York, do hereby declare Friday, May 15, 1970, as New York Knicks Day.
Shout it out, because it is the most fitting tribute to the most important element in the Knicks' victory, the fans themselves. It is you who are really number one. And next year, we'll be hearing a shout of defense, more thunderous than ever before, as the Super 5 and the Minutemen defend their world.